Alright, what's good, YouTube? Today we're gonna be reacting to the Island Boys. They just trying to make it, but they got on that stage and couldn't get the crowd to shake it. Let me stop. You know they trash for real, but you know we are reacting to the Island Boys, the dark side of fame, how they scammed everyone. Better not scam me because I got scammed before. You know, if you scam me, I'm gonna have to hit you with that clean, with that. Anyways, let's get into this video. See what they're talking about.
What you sorry for?
I'm sorry for robbing you and taking your book bag.
Damn right.
Is there a more viral act tearing up the interwebs right now than Kodiak Red and Fly Soldier, aka the Island Boys? If there is, I'm not aware of it, and considering that's more or less my job, I think I would know.
I be just staring at the sun. I'm just out fool gazing.
What did he say?
Not only do these two have a combined 3.5 million followers on TikTok and just over 800,000 followers on Instagram, they've become a viral sensation thanks to a bare bones clip that sees both of them singing while hanging out in a pool. While wearing pants at that, I think I just need to add that. Since that clip made the viral, they've been featured on H3 and the BFF podcast. Oh, and they've also hopped onto a Zoom call to speak with none other than Michael McCrudden.
He wanted me to cut my hair to be clean cut, and I told bro, I'm like, I'm not cutting my hair, and I'm not gonna wear suits, and I'm not gonna wear turtlenecks.
Why is Kodak Black telling you to do that? That guy's like the craziest one of them all.
But even though I haven't seen a more viral act since the heydays of Kid Boo or Joker 305, that doesn't mean everything about the Island Boys story shines. In fact, a whole lot of it has to do with some pretty seedy and dark stuff. I'm talking calls of cultural appropriation, multiple arrests, months spent in juvie, and taking advantage of the recent pandemic to land themselves a brand new dream home where they've been filming a bulk of their content. So if you want to hear all about the Island Boys dip into the dark side of fame, then keep watching. Kodiak Red and Fly Soldier were born Frank and Alex Venegas, respectively, on July 16, 2001, in West Palm Beach, Florida. Yes, for those of you paying attention, that makes these two twins, though they're most definitely fraternal and not identical, contrary to what photographic evidence might have you believe. Of course, if you really need help, you can always remember that Frank is the one with the eagle tattooed in the middle of his head, and Alex has the number 17 smack dab in the middle of his forehead. Ever since these two first went viral on social media, fans have been curious as to what ethnicity they are, and some have even gone as far to outright assume these two brothers must be practicing cultural appropriation, considering they both look and speak the way they do. The boys tried to set the record straight themselves during an interview on the Humble TV YouTube channel with the help of dear old mom.
Hey, mommy, someone don't believe I'm Hispanic. Can you say that both of my parents, you and papi, that I'm Cuban?
Well, you were born in the United States, but your parents and your ancestors are all Cuban. Yes, so you are officially Cuban. Cuban descent.
Full Cuban, right?
Full Cuban descent.
So there you have, straight from who I can only assume was 100% Frank and Alex's mom, the Island Boys are officially Cuban. So no culture appropriation here, at least not of the Latin variety. Subsequently, the boys also DM'd us to let us know that their mom raised them in a single parent household after their father passed away when they were just 6 years old.
No, we haven't lived with our mom for like, what, 2-3 years now? Something like that, yeah. Yeah, it was like, more than that. 4 years. Yeah, it's been a minute since we lived with her, but yeah, she raised us. She was a single mom. Our dad died at like around we was 5 or 6, so she was raising us like our whole life. You know, playing both father and mother. But what's it called? We take care of her now.
Needless to say, childhood wasn't simple, but knowing these two, they always managed to keep things as fun as possible. It wasn't until they got a little bit older that they really began to act out and earn themselves a notorious reputation. Despite the name West Palm Beach sounding more or less like the name of a dream city, especially when you spent most of your life living in the harsh Ontario winters, these two brothers quickly uncovered the seedy underbelly of the city and turned into a life of crime that would ultimately result in them being placed under house arrest and spending a combined 36 months in juvenile detention centers. If anyone is interested in checking out their criminal record, then you can do so for yourselves over on Reddit, as well as some publicly available arrest files. But for those of you with too much to do, I'll run down some highlights of how the twins like to jump off the porch, as they sometimes say. The earliest record I can find stems from December of 2016 and involves Frank resisting arrest without violence.
Oh, okay.
and being arrested at the age of only 15. About a week later, he would be arrested again, this time for grand theft larceny of under $5,000. Just 3 short months after that, he would violate the terms of his probation, which just goes to show you that even in their mid-teens, a life of crime was really the only life these two knew. Then in September of 2017, Frank was arrested and loaded up with 4 different charges. One for simple assault and intended threat to do violence, another for battery, as well as a charge for marijuana possession of under 20 grams and possession of drug equipment for intended use. Most recently, in February of 2020, Frank was arrested yet again, this time for resisting an officer and obstruction of justice without violence. Meanwhile, a side-by-side comparison between Frank's criminal record with his brother Alex would more or less turn up a carbon copy. But Alex has also seen criminal charges brought against him in June of 2020, which include 2 charges of aggravated assault with a firearm and another 2 charges for improper exhibition of a weapon. A few of you guys had the foresight to hit us up in the DMs and alert us of the fact that these two have gotten into even more trouble on the streets of Florida than the police necessarily know about. Meaning, we had some snitches in our DMs.
What you sorry for?
I'm sorry for robbing you and taking your book bag.
Damn right.
Not
But I guess the less
in
we
the
speak
corner.
of that stuff, the better for them. Ultimately, all the
At Holiday Central,
No, I
Discovery
still
Plus
didn't
is
buy it,
stuffing your
so-
stockings with more gifts than ever before. Deck the hall.
this troublemaking would wind up earning each of these brothers an 18-month juvenile detention sentence, which was far from easy for either of them to live through.
You gotta prove yourself when you're in there, because normally you could just walk away and you could just run away from the situation, but you can't do that in this type of situation. You gotta really get down, and you better not tell, because you tell, you feel me, you gonna get in trouble, you feel me? And if you tell your parents, they're gonna switch you to another ground, and they're gonna end up knowing why you gotta switch to another ground.
To make matters worse, these two were split up for the first time in their lives, with
How would
Alex
you
being
know that?
sent to a center in Brooksville, Florida, and Frank sent to an institute in St. John's. While serving their time, they'd wind up getting involved in constant violent altercations, oftentimes involving inmates that were far older than themselves.
He got arrested first, and then we just got we kept violating probation, got a few more felonies. I can pronounce it right now. But what's it called? I had 6. You had 4 or 5, something like that. And then what's it called? Then the judge got tired of us. I came out 18. He came out 17 because I caught some time for fighting. I caught 60 days.
It was the time they spent locked away from one another that made these two realize they needed to change their life around. They started planning for their future for the first time in their lives and began taking the idea of becoming rappers seriously. Frank would be the first brother to drop some music with his song My Time, which he released under the name Red in March of 2020. Months later, both brothers teamed up to drop their video Murder One, and the Island Boys were officially a real act. Of course,
That
just
shit
because they're doing their
trash.
best impersonation of two people
Yeah,
looking to
nobody
turn their
said.
lives around doesn't mean that the twins don't have a little bit of their old ways stuck in them. For instance, after popping off during the worldwide pandemic, these two brothers found a way to use their viral numbers to secure a Paycheck Protection Program loan, part of the $953 billion business loan program established by the United States government to help people and business keep themselves afloat during the worldwide pandemic. Alex received $20,750 of that $953 billion, which he then used to help secure a home for he and his brother to live in Palm Springs, Florida. Those Florida scammers, man, they'll get you. Upgrading from the
He's
streets of
dead
West
ass
Palm
wrong.
Beach
Come
to
on,
their
bro.
very
You don't gotta talk about us Floridians like that. Dang.
own home in Palm Springs is probably only one step in the Island Boys' plans for worldwide domination. The question is, with their track record for far less than legal activities, what else will they be willing to do to help themselves succeed? Well, you'll just have to stay tuned for future installments of The Dark Side of Fame to find out what these two have up next. For now, if you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to like and subscribe. My name is Clyde Smith, and as always, I'll see you guys
Stole
in
my
another
last
video.
bitch, you part of us too. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. We just reacted to the Island Boys before they were famous. Now we know a little bit about them. You can fuck with them. I ain't fucking with them. Gotta pop out with a song better than that they've been popping out with lately. Then they might change my mind. But other than that, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. If there's any videos you guys want me to react to, make sure you drop them down in the comments. Watch the video. If you watched it to this far, made it this far, say yo. Other than that, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.